Yo, what is good, everybody? Just want to talk a little bit about the breaking news that happened overnight last night. The Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes is officially over, and the winners are the Los Angeles Clippers. They also were able to swing a blockbuster trade involving 4 first-round picks, Danilo Gallinari and Shea Alexander, in exchange for PG-13, Paul George. So that is right. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are heading to the Clippers. The battle for Los Angeles is officially on. It's going to be very interesting next season to see how it all pans out. The Lakers, my team, of course, they had to play the waiting game, and it didn't work out in their favor. But at the end of the day, they have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, so I think they'll be all right. Now comes to the point where the Lakers have to fill out the roster, and they've been doing a pretty good job of doing that thus far. They still have a couple more pieces that I think they're going to look at and try to add. But initially, they were able to add Quinn Cook, Danny Green, as well as they re-signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, and they were able to bring back JaVale McGee, who had a really good rapport with LeBron last year on pick and pops and pick and rolls and the lobs, and he was a very good rim protector as well for them. So it should be very interesting going into next season as far as how that goes. I'm thinking that they're probably going to think about bringing Rajon Rondo back as well for more depth at point guard, and they have a little bit of salary cap space left for possibly maybe a Marcus Morris, or if Andre Iguodala gets bought out by Memphis, I heard that they might make a run at him as well for either the mid-level exception or the veteran minimum. So all is not lost. Laker fans, step away from the bridge. Don't jump off. We'll be all right. It would have been nice to have Kawhi Leonard, but Kawhi Leonard would have been a luxury at this point. You have AD, we have LeBron. We'll be good. We'll work it out from there. We'll see what happens. That's all you can do nowadays is just see what happens. At the end of the day, though, I feel really bad for Russell Westbrook because now KD left, PG-13 has to be traded, so now everybody's going to be looking at Westbrook again like, what's wrong with you? And I don't know if it's anything necessarily wrong with Russell Westbrook, but he does seem like a difficult guy to play with because he doesn't make good decisions and he takes bad shots all the time. And he's a hell of a player, like all-star, superstar player, but he just doesn't make good decisions all the time on the court, and that tends to bite his team in the ass. And sometimes it's got to be difficult to play with a guy like that. And I guess it happened with PG-13. I also think that they're going to blow that team up in OKC. I think they're probably going to look to move Westbrook. And where he's going to go, that would be another story. I'm sure something might happen this summer, though. We might get some more drama in the NBA, another blockbuster trade. But it's crazy. I wish the season started now, but unfortunately we're going to have to wait till end of October to see how all this unfolds. But it's been a great last couple of weeks. In the Eastern Conference, well, obviously we'll finish off the West first. Utah improved. Bringing in Mike Conley and bringing in a couple of other pieces to help them with some depth. They look good. The Denver Nuggets are going to be solid again in the West. They didn't really lose anybody, but they just brought everybody back, and they had a really good team last year, so we'll see how that pans out for them. Also, Portland, they got Hassan Whiteside, which you don't know. They'll bring back Nurkic. That'll help them out defensively in the middle. Whiteside has potential to be good, but he's lazy, so you don't know what you're going to get out of him. If he comes to play, he'll anchor that middle and protect the rim for them and be very solid. But you never know what you're going to get with him. So who knows with that. Obviously, the Clippers and the Lakers are going to be in the thick of things. So the West is going to be very interesting. As far as the Eastern Conference, Brooklyn got better. D'Angelo Russell was a good player, but Kyrie's better than him, so that will help them out a little bit more. We won't really see how good Brooklyn really is until KD comes back the following year. Next year, they'll be a solid playoff team. Like Kyrie will keep them afloat, and they'll be fine. But we won't see how good they really are until KD comes back. Milwaukee, they lost Brogdon, but they were able to keep everybody else. So I think they'll be able to keep the ship going and stay at the top of the East in that area, top 4 seed. Toronto, they lost Kawhi, but they were able to bring pretty much everybody else back. They lost Danny Green as well to the Lakers. You never in the Eastern Conference. It's a lot of parity, so you never know how it's going to pan out there. I still think Toronto is a solid playoff team with or without Kawhi. They're a championship contender with him. They're no longer a championship team without him. So, that opens the door up for Philly. Philadelphia Sixers did really well. They lost Jimmy Butler and Redick, but they were able to bring in Josh Richardson and Al Horford. So now across the board, Philadelphia, in my opinion, is the best defensive team in the NBA because they can pretty much switch everything. And they'll be able to defend the pick and roll really well with their length. And they're going to be a problem. Their one Achilles heel might be their shooting because they don't really have. They lost a lot of 3-point shooting with Redick and Butler. Richardson has the ability to hit them. So does Horford. But Ben Simmons developing that mid-range shot really would help him out a lot and help that offense out a lot to keep defenses honest when defending him instead of sagging off. So I'm sure he's working on that, and if he's able to get that down packed, I think they'll be really good. As far as the East, that's the top 4, in my opinion. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and Toronto. We'll see how it goes. I think, believe it or not, the Knicks not getting a superstar actually helped them because I think they're going to have a lot of depth in a couple of years. I think they'll be a good team. They need to take the patient route. They can't really go the route that they've been going, which is, try to get superstars every year. It doesn't pan out, and then they tank. They can't continue to tank anymore. They're going to have to field a competitive team, which they have enough talent to do that this year. So I think they will, and I think they'll improve over time. But, for now, that's all I got today. I just wanted to holler at you guys really quickly about that. I'll be back to go over things a little bit more in depth in the future about all this crazy free agent madness that's been going on. But, that's pretty much all I got today. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at PhilGrayson6. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, fanatic_Phil. And also feel free to like and subscribe underneath. So that's about it. See you when I see you. Have a great weekend. Peace.